How we doing, folks? It's Mr. Carter here, ready to help you with Fluency and Skills Practice Lesson 10. This one is solving multi-step problems. So go ahead and put your name on this if you haven't yet. And let's begin. All right, so it's asking you to write and solve, this time, an equation for each problem and to show your work. So for number one, it says Tasha spends 25 minutes reading on Wednesday night. And then she spends 17 more minutes on Thursday than she did on Wednesday. So write and solve an equation to find out how many minutes Tasha spent reading on Wednesday and Thursday nights. So if we look at our question, circle the question here. They want us to know how many minutes in all, right? She did on Wednesday and Thursday nights. So we've got to add that minutes she did on Wednesday to the minutes she did on Thursday. So what that looks like is here we got Wednesday plus Thursday. Well, you know what? Let me put Thursday in a different color just to kind of show the difference. Equals the total, right? Minutes. All right. So on Wednesday, if we look back at the problem, it says here she spent 25 minutes on Wednesday. So that's just for Wednesday night. So again, it's 25 minutes. I'll just group that together in what we're going to call Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it says she spent 17 more minutes reading on Thursday than she did on Wednesday. So she read 25 minutes on on Wednesday. We got to go 25 plus 17 more minutes to get what she did on Thursday. And then that's going to equal our total. So we got to add the Wednesday plus the Thursday. So for Wednesday, we don't really need to do anything to figure that out here. It's just 25 minutes. Plus, if I take 25 and add it to 17, I'm going to get 42 minutes total. And then when we add 25 plus 42 together, we get 67. So again, we're breaking this apart into two separate steps. One, we had to figure out, Wednesday was already given to us, but we had to first figure out Thursday, and then that was step one. And then we had to figure out the Wednesday plus the Thursday together to get 67 minutes. So Tasha spent 67 minutes reading. Okay. So if I was to transfer that onto my paper, it would look something like this. So let's just do M for minutes equals, again, 25. All right, and I'm getting that 25 here. Plus the 25 plus 17, that's Thursday. And again, 25. So the minutes, again, equals 25 plus 17 is 42. And then then our minutes total is 67 when we add 25 plus 42 together. All right, let's look at number 2. All right, so number 2 says Eric has 2 bags of birdseed. One bag has 10 pounds of seed. The other bag has 8 pounds of seed. So I'm going to underline that. So 10 pounds of seed in one bag, 8 pounds of seed in the other bag. Then he fills 7 bird feeders with 2 pounds each. And then it's asking you, write and solve an equation to find out how many pounds of bird seeds are left. When I see the word how many are left, or the question how many are left, that tells me we need to subtract, because we're going to start with an amount, and we're going to use this amount, and we're going to figure out how much is left. So we've got to subtract for that. So I drew a picture because I know drawing pictures helps me to figure this out. So we have 2 bags of bird seed, as you can see. So again, 2 bags of bird seed. One bag has 10 pounds, the other one has 8 pounds. So I drew a bigger bag of bird seed, and that's going to have 10 pounds in it, and then a little bit smaller bag of bird seed with 8 pounds in it. So this is what he started with. Okay, so he has 10 pounds in one bag and 8 pounds in the other bag. Well, that I know, if we add that together, what he started with, 10 plus 8 is 18. So he's starting out with 18 pounds of seed. But then we got to figure out how much he used, and then we got to figure out what will be left after he used. So according to the problem, excuse me, he fills 7 bird feeders with 2 pounds each. Okay, so that's what he's using. So here I just did some squares for the bird feeders, and he has 7 bird feeders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that he's filling with 2 pounds each. So I'm going to go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now, to figure out how much he used in all, we could simply count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Or we can go 7 bird feeders times 2 pounds each. And that equals 14 pounds that he used in all. So what we're going to do, let me just back up here. We're going to take the 18 pounds that he started with, and we're going to subtract it from the 14 pounds that he used. So minus 14. Oopsie, there we go. And we know that 18 take away 4, 18 take away 14, I should say, is 4 pounds. So that's what he's left with. He's left with 4 pounds after he used, he started with 18, then he used 14, and that leaves us with 4 pounds left. Okay, so 4 pounds left. So what does that look like? Let me go back and zoom in as an equation, right? So let's use the letter S for seed, and that's equal, I'm going to put in parentheses what he started with. So again, he had one bag that had 10 pounds plus the other bag with 8 pounds. That's what he started with. And then we subtracted that from what he used. And again, it was 7 bird feeders with 2 pounds each. So we did 7 bird feeders times 2 pounds each. Okay, so this is our equation. So again, let's do it step by step. So again, as for seeds, 10 plus 8 is 18. Take away 7 times 2 is 14. Okay, so therefore S equals, when you go 18 take away 14, S equals 4 pounds. So the pounds of seeds is 4 pounds. All right, let's take a look at number 3. So there are 15 fourth grade students, let's underline that, and 19 fifth grade students, I'm going to underline that as well, in a math club. The tables in Mrs. Miller's classroom seat 4 students each. That's also important. Write and solve an equation to find out how many tables Mrs. Miller will need. Okay, so first of all, what we need to do is we need to figure out how many students there are in all, because they all need a seat, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and again, I drew it out here. So we have 15 fourth graders and 19 fifth graders. So what we got to do to figure out, again, how many kids in all, we got to add those together. So when we go 15 plus 19, what we get is 34. Okay. So then what we need to do now is we need to take all these 34 students and we need to put them into tables. So again, I'm just going to draw a picture because that, again, this visual helps me out. So, and I'm just going to use circles for tables. And again, she can sit 4 kids per table. So if we have one table, that's 4 kids. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use a repeated subtraction to help us with that. So we got 34 to start with. If I put 4 kids at a table, we're going to subtract 4 kids. That leaves us with 30 kids left. Let me draw that better. 30 kids left to put at a table. So now let's do a second table. Okay. So again, need to take away 4 more kids from our total. That leaves us with 26 children left to sit. A third table. So again, we were left with 26. I'm going to take 4 kids and put them at the table. That leaves us with, well, 6, take away 4 is 2, 22 kids left to put at a table. All right, let's put another table up. We can sit 4 more kids. So again, we're slowly taking away, getting to, we're slowly putting all the kids at a table. 22 take away 4 leaves us with 18. So let's make another table. Again, we're going to place those 4 kids. That leaves us with 14 kids. All right, I'm running out of room on my whiteboard, so I'm going to start up here. 14. Let's put another table. So 14 take away 4. That leaves us with 10 kids left to put at a table. Take 4 more. That's 10 take away 4. We had 10 kids left. We seated 4. That leaves us with 6 more kids left to put at a table. All right, so here we are, 1 more table. So we had 6 kids. If we take away 4 kids and put them at a table, that leaves us with 2 kids left to put at a table. But wait a minute. Some of you might think, well, all right, well, yeah, we have enough tables, but we need to take these 2 kids. We don't want to leave them standing. We have to put them at a table also. So we're going to have 1 more table, but it's only going to have 2 kids left in it, right? So, so you're going to have, and basically what we were doing, folks, is we were taking 34 and dividing it by 4, because we were taking those 34 kids and dividing, making groups of 4. Well, that's going to equal 8 full tables, as you can see. And this is what we call a remainder. So I'm going to put an R here for remainder. And we have 2 remaining. So we have 2 as a remainder. So it's 8 remainder 2. But our answer, boys and girls, isn't going to be 8 tables. It's going to be 9 tables. Because we need, as you can see, we have 4 tables here, 4 tables there. That's 8 tables. So we have a 9th table that we still need because those 2 kids that were left still need to sit at a table. So our answer to our problem is that Mrs. Miller is going to need 9 tables total. All right. So let's break this down into an equation. All right. So what we did is, let's just say T for tables equals what we started with, if you remember, let me zoom in here, was adding our 4th graders to our 5th graders. So we did 15 4th graders plus 19 5th graders to get 34. So we're going to group that together. So again, we're going to take our 15 4th graders, add that to our 19 5th graders. And then once we had our total, again, what we did, and our total again was 34, we divided that total by 4. Because again, there's 4 kids at each table. So we found the total, and then what we did is we divided that by 4. So again, our tables equals 15 plus 19 was 34. And again, we divided that by 4. Now the answer, when we divided by 4, as you remember, so was 8 remainder 2. But again, so when we did the math and we did 34 with divided by 4, we got 8 tables, each having 4 kids at it, and then we had a remainder of 2. So, but the actual answer is that Mrs. Miller is going to need 9 tables total, because once again, those 2 kids need a table to sit at. All right, let's look at number 4. So here it says Frankie earns $5 each time he babysits. And I underlined that, and we're not going to use it right away, this information yet, but we're going to use it later on in the problem. So he earns that $5 every time he babysits his little sister. Now, he saved $30. That's also important. But here's what Frankie wants to do. He wants to save a total of $52 to buy a new skateboard. Write and solve an equation to find out how many more times Frankie will need to babysit. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. So let's break it down. So what we need to start with is what the skateboard costs, because that's his goal. So that's his goal and how much he wants to save. So according to the problem, he wants to save $52, let me put up here, to buy a new skateboard. So that's what the skateboard costs. We're going to start with that, $52. Now, we're going to subtract what he's already saved. Okay, so he's already saved, according to the problem, $30. And what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the $30 he already has from his goal, because he's going to take that $30 and put it towards the cost of the skateboard. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us how much more money he needs to earn to buy the skateboard. So if we go 52 and we subtract the goal of how much money he wants to make or to earn from the $30 he's already saved, that leaves us with $22, and that's what he needs still to earn, okay, to get to that goal of 52. So that leads us to the second part of this problem. So how much he needs $22 more to buy the skateboard. He's almost there, but he's not quite there. And then what we need to do is we need to take this $22, which is how much more he needs to buy the skateboard, and divide it by what he makes babysitting every time, which, again, according to the problem, he makes $5 every time he babysits right here. $5 every time he babysits. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some division through repeated subtraction. And let me just kind of move this over here so I can do that. So we're going to go 22 divided by 5. All right. So we're going to start with $22. That's his goal. And we're going to subtract 5 every time he babysits. All right, so if he babysits once, all right, so he has $22 to reach his goal. He babysat once, so he earned $5. So that leaves him with $17 more left to earn. So he babysits a second time. He earns $5 more. So again, it's $5 more towards the goal. So we're almost there. So 17 take away 5 is $12 left to earn. I'm running out of room, so I'll put 12 up here. All right. He babysits a third time. He earns $5 more. That leaves him with $7 left to earn. So he's getting really close. All right. So if he babysits a fourth time, he earns $5 more. He's not quite there. He still has $2 left to earn. Okay. So he has to babysit one more time. So here's his fifth time of babysitting. But in this case, he only needs $2 more to get to his goal. All right. So if we take 22 and divide it by 5, we have $4 with a remainder of 2. I'm sorry, 4 times of babysitting with a remainder of 2. So he babysits 4 times with a remainder of 2 is the actual answer to 22 divided by 5. However, in order to earn the money to get the skateboard, he has to babysit 5 times. Now, after he's done babysitting the 5th time, he has $3 more that he can do whatever he wants to with, because he doesn't need that $3 to make to buy the skateboard. All right. So what does that look like as an equation? All right. So if I break it down, let's zoom in. Okay. So let's say it's B for babysitting equals. All right. We had to figure out the cost of the skateboard, 52, and we took away what he already saved, which was the $30. Okay. Then once we figure that out, we had to divide what he had left to earn by $5 every time. Okay. So then again, the cost of the skateboard was so he had $22 left to earn, divided by $5 for every time he had to babysit. So that was, as we remember, it was 4 with a remainder of 2. So, but again, the actual answer was he needed to babysit 5 times, okay? Because again, that last one, okay? So again, he had to babysit 4 times in order to earn $20, but he still had $2 left to earn, so that's why he had to babysit a 5th time. All right. So if we look at number 5, it says, how can you estimate to check one of your answers, show your work? Well, again, everyone's answer is going to vary on that. So you can choose any one of these 4 problems, make these numbers friendly to work with, and that's what you do to estimate, to make sure that your answer is reasonable. All right, hope this was helpful. Reach out to your teacher if you need anything.